Hello nerds! You are about to see the most recent gaming and tech nerd news. For the full news show, then you can follow the top link there in the description, or, you know, if you're not on YouTube, youtube.com/generallynerdy, generallynerdy.net, so on and so forth. But let's jump into the nerdy news before we get too far ahead of ourselves. So jumping headfirst into gaming and tech, we have a bunch of follow-ups. Let's start in the follow-up section with Pokemon Go. Remember last time we talked about this, Niantic, the company that is producing the game Pokemon Go, was talking about scaling some of and had actually scaled a bunch of things back that they had rolled out during pandemic season. Well, that did not get met very well from fans, and now we are here for the update. It seems that Niantic is in fact going to reinstate the 80-meter interact distance with Pokestops and gyms in the very least, though, I mean, I'm sure that's going to bleed out a little bit more, but it sounds like this is about as much give as Niantic is going to be giving fans. Next, we're talking once more about Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. We now have an official release date, February 18th of 2022. Pre-orders go live tomorrow as you're watching this, 2 days out as I'm filming. So if you are a PlayStation 5 owner, actually no, PlayStation 4 or 5, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that because I didn't do that research. But we do know when it's coming and we're moving on. Next, let's talk one more time about Splitgate. Splitgate has officially rolled out Season 0, the more advanced stage of the beta, and they have apparently fixed a bunch of the issues that they were having previously, so thank the gods, because it is so much fun to play. Still no official word on when the beta phase is going to end, so keep that in mind. But there is word from the powers that be, you know, the people behind the scenes that are doing the stuff, that are making it work, that they are not only working on new maps, new weapons, and new gear, but they are also working on a new map editor. We will be definitely keeping tabs on this one. Then let's talk ever so briefly about a game I'm not sure we've talked about before on the show, but I think we might have, so that's why it's in follow-ups. The game from Nintendo that they are reportedly trying to dethrone Smash Brothers, Nintendo All-Stars Brawl, has just announced 2 new playable characters, those being the likes of CatDog and April O'Neil. This just keeps getting more and more interesting. It might actually dethrone Smash Brothers. Speaking of April O'Neil, our final follow-up for this section has to do with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, the retro-styled arcade brawler, whatever you want to call it, old-school-looking Nintendo, or old-school-looking Ninja Turtles game, that, you know, is very much in the vein of that old arcade that then got ported, and then there were a couple of Super Nintendo games that has also just announced that April O'Neil will be joining the cast as a playable character, and I don't know which one I'm more excited about, this one or the Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. Both of these sound awesome. Now let's roll over to trailers for the gaming section. Our first trailer is another Metroid Prime Dread trailer. We get to see a little bit more of the additional weapons that Samus is going to be able to use in this game. There is a lot of stuff from the previous trailer, but there's a lot of gold in that new bits too, and whoo, chomping at the bit for this one as well. Our next trailer has to do with Marvel's Midnight Suns. This one is a little interesting because I was expecting something different. What it is actually going to be is a turn-based RPG from the likes of Marvel in co-production with Firaxis, who is a sub-developer for XCOM. They have created the new protagonist character who you will be playing as, and then your team will be made up of the characters from the comic books that have to do with this Midnight Suns group. If you want a better breakdown of who the Midnight Suns are, just put it in the YouTube search because I don't have that kind of time. We've got to roll on. Our final new trailer also comes with a new release date for Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is now officially coming out on December 8th, and we have a couple of trailers that have come from the Gamescom convention over the last weekend. So that is all kinds of awesome. Then we have two pieces of news. Our first piece is the announcement of a new Lego Star Wars game, not the Skywalker Saga, which I do believe we talked about previously when it was originally announced. This is another new one that is going to be exclusive to the Apple Arcade. This is going to be Lego Star Wars Battles. It is going to be an RTS based in the Star Wars universe. It looks like it's going to take place in the entire Skywalker Saga era. You'll be able to access most, if not all, of those characters from all three trilogies. But it's not going to be super in-depth. It's just going to be a lot of fun because it's a mobile game. So, I mean, yeah, whatever. Moving right along, our other piece of news has to do with Overwatch. Now, I've been kind of staying away from the Activision Blizzard scandal, but I feel like it's time we broach this just slightly. So, if you don't know by now what is going on over at Activision Blizzard, we're not going to cover that in any kind of detail. That has been done ad nauseum by every other nerdy news channel on the internet. So if you don't know, you have all of the resources necessary available to you to get into the gory details, and it gets a little sticky, and I only kind of mean that figuratively. So the first bit of fallout from the Activision Blizzard issue is going to be happening in Overwatch. I mean, there have been other things that are also happening, but this is the first one that is probably going to actually take place. Plenty of people have been fired, plenty of people have quit at this point, and now they're going to be changing the name of one of the characters in Overwatch. McCree, who is named after a developer, somebody who was active on making the game, who has since quit, I believe. I'm pretty sure he did not get fired, though it's kind of a situation of, you better quit before we fire you, I believe. Other things are going on other Activision Blizzard games, like World of Warcraft. There's an issue with character naming over there. This is going so deep that they have changed their policy in naming characters so that they are not named after employees from this point forward. So that's how deep this goes, that they're even affecting their games. Okay, so let's get a little reasonable real quick. The reasonable thing to do here, because there is potential that even if 10% of what is being alleged against a lot of people in the company at Activision Blizzard, even if the smallest fraction of what is being alleged is true, then it's pretty heinous. So the possibility exists that this guy, Jesse McCree, or whatever his actual name is, very potentially has somebody he victimized that still works for Activision Blizzard. So every time that person has to do something with this character, they're reminded of it. Again, I understand people are soft. It is definitely, that complaint is not lost on me, but have a little heart, because it's just a digital character. Who cares what his name is? Let's just play the game, shall we? No word yet as to what Activision Blizzard is going to rename the character to, but once they announce it, I'm sure we will talk about it ever so briefly, or we will talk about it over on the socials. So if you're not following me there, then you probably should find me on whichever social media platform you prefer, and we can have that conversation when it happens. That, though, is all we have for gaming and tech. Once again, that was the gaming and tech. I know, my shirt keeps changing. It's so weird. Pre-recorded is a wonderful thing. Anyway, if you want to see the full episode, top link down in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or you can just check out youtube.com/generallynerdy. There is a bunch of other places you can find me, all of the social medias. Just look for the Nerdy Ninja. He is the logo, and that is the place to go find me, is wherever his face is. My face will be shortly behind. GenerallyNerdy.net is the website. Patreon.com/GenerallyNerdy to get behind the paywall and see all of the things. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.